Going to bring you chicken balls today. No idea where I got this recipe, but it is a favourite. And it's pretty simple, like a lot of mine. So let's just have a look. It's a minced chicken, so you can get that at any sort of supermarket. A minced chicken, some red onion, some spinach chopped up. I've chopped that up a little bit more. Egg, just to kind of bind it all together. A little bit of cheese, a little bit of oil, a bit of chilli, a bit of salt, a bit of pepper, and a bit of breadcrumbs. Now you can use a panko breadcrumb, or you can use just old bread that's lying around that's been in the freezer and chop it through, whatever you want to use, just something to give it that sort of, that whole little bit of structure. And of course, what the egg does is it helps bind it together. And then once we've done those, we're going to hold them and wrap them with a bit of chutney or a mayo just on top in a little bed of iceberg lettuce, or you can use a cos lettuce. So let me just show you quickly what I'm going to do. So it's a quick whip through. Now I've got the, I've got Maggie supporting, but I've got the hot pan going just lightly at the moment. Get it going with some oil. So let's just break that up a little bit. This is going to be pretty raw and done. So cheese first, and then let's just start with one egg to see how many we need just to bind together, because you don't want it too wet, right? And it's just a case of, obviously we've prepped all this already, bringing it all together, okay? And then I'm going to show you this really cool trick, how to get the fairly even sized little balls of chicken. So garlic as well. So we've got red onion, garlic. We've got, and I'm going to do this with my hands. They're plain. Salt. You can add to taste a little bit later. A little bit of chili too. Awesome there. And once I get my hands a bit clean, that's quite messy. We'll also whack in some of those panko or the breadcrumbs. Okay. So again, look, don't put too many in, because you'll end up having to put more eggs in. A little bit of twist of pepper on there, and a little bit of oil. Now you might have some oil around. This is just one of those cheese oils. Just a little bit of oil, just to help it so it's not too dry. Now, just with a wooden spoon, just mixing that together. All right, just a simple mix. Mixing it together as much as you can, getting a sense of, do we need another egg in there or not? You will know. If it's a bit dry, you will need to bring in another egg. And again, that egg helps it bind. Now, I've actually had these before. I've made these before with, you could throw in a little bit of flour. You could put in spring onion. There's a whole lot of things you can throw in there. Whatever it looks like, you know, there could be parsley, any of your other favourite greens you want to throw in there, just chopped up fairly fine, because these are only going to be about that size, all right? So that's pretty good, mixed it up pretty well there. Just bring it to the edge as much as you can. Let's have a look. I'm going to take a risk and go another egg, all right? Let's just drop another. These are smallish eggs anyway. They're 600 grams, 60 gram eggs, whatever size they are. 60, they wouldn't be 600. That'd be quite a large egg. Yeah. Emu egg, in fact. Okay, so that's looking good. Just mixing it through there. And now, hot pan on, right? We've got that pan on, fairly warm. Now, with this, I'd use a vegetable oil or a sunflower. Don't use an olive oil, and just, you want to have enough in there, thanks to cameraman, you want to have enough in there to just obviously cover the base, but to kind of sink them in there. And once we've cooked those, we're going to transfer them onto a little bit of that paper too. So just coming back, here's this little cool trick I want to show you, how to get that kind of right size. So again, you could put in a little extra cheese if you wanted. Whatever cheese, that was just a cheddar cheese. You might want to put in a parmesan or something else just to give it that extra flavour. Getting as much of that on there. Now that was about 500 grams of that minced chicken as well. So let's just swap trays or sections here so we can load them up. Now with 2 spoons, right? Just 1, 2. How cool is this? And that's essentially what you want to do for each one. Now, you could, if you want, you could dust that with a sesame seed or another type of breadcrumb if you wanted. I'm just going to leave them like this, but there's certainly a lot of other ways you can do it. So roughly, again, same kind of size, squashing them together a little bit as you do it. It is a little bit fiddly, but what you'll see is you'll get roughly the same size. They look like oversized oysters, in fact. So I'm going to keep going with this, and then I'll show you once we get them all done, and then we're going to put them in the pan. Awesome. Okay, oil's ready to go, fairly hot. Be very careful. Maggie's been shifted because it can spit. Now you can see I've scalloped those little chicken balls there. So it takes a little bit of time, but it's worthwhile because they all become roughly the same size. And then it's just a case of one by one, don't overload it either, because you'll find them hard to turn over. And sizzling away there. Bring them a little bit closer, make it easy for ourselves to put them in. And just, they won't take long. I rotate them a little bit as well. That looks fantastic like that. And just slowly putting them in, remembering which ones you put in first, so you can rotate them as you see them start to cook. And we will come back once we've flipped those and we'll show you where they're going.